Hi, everyone. I've been home from college for a couple of weeks now, and with Christmas having just passed, I was reminded of something that happened to me a few years ago. I wanted to share it here and see what you think it could have been. First, let me describe the layout of my house. Along the back wall of our living room, there's a couch facing the TV on the opposite wall. To the left of the TV is a hallway. As you go down the hallway, there's a bathroom on the right. Then farther down, my bedroom on the left, and directly across from it, my parents' bedroom on the right. At the very end of the hallway is my dad's office on the left. I don't remember exactly how old I was, but I must have been around 12 or 13. I'm 19 now. I also don't know the exact time this happened, but it was around Christmas. I know this because the couch had been moved slightly to make room for the Christmas tree, which gave me a clear view straight down the hallway from where I was sitting. My family has a tradition of watching movies together every night, and we still do this today. It was pretty late, and the living room was completely dark except for the glow of the TV and the Christmas tree lights. I was relaxed, watching the movie, when I suddenly felt like someone was watching me. I glanced around the living room, thinking one of my parents might be staring at me, but they were both focused on the movie. Confused, I tried to ignore the feeling. Then, for some reason, I felt an overwhelming urge to look down the hallway. You know how? When it's really dark, your eyes eventually adjust enough to make out shapes? As I stared down the hallway, that's exactly what happened. Slowly, I began to make out a tall, dark figure peeking out from my parents' bedroom doorway. My ears started ringing, my heart began racing, and I felt like I was going to pass out. I had never experienced that level of fear before. Now I know it was my fight-or-flight response. The only way I can describe it is the feeling you'd have if you suddenly came face-to-face with a grizzly bear in the woods, completely unarmed. It felt like I was about to die. Even now, writing this, I can feel that same dread creeping back into my body. I couldn't see any facial features, but somehow I knew it was looking directly at me. After a few seconds, it stood up to its full height. I remember thinking very clearly that it wasn't a person. Something about it felt wrong, unnatural. Then it stepped fully out of my parents' room, stared at me for another moment, turned, and quickly walked down the hallway into my dad's office. I sat there, staring at the now empty hallway, blinking for what felt like 2 full minutes before I finally snapped out of it. Before I continue, I need to explain something. I didn't, and still don't, have a great relationship with my parents. I was always scared to tell them things because it would usually turn into a lecture or an argument. Knowing this, what I did next meant I was absolutely certain of what I had seen. I finally said very calmly, "Dad, there's someone in the house." I paused the movie immediately. My dad turned on the lights and ran down the hallway to his office. I watched as his office light turned on, waiting to hear something. Shouting, a struggle, anything. But there was only silence. After a moment, the light turned off, and he walked back into the living room. He just stared at me, almost like he was studying my face. He told me there was no one there. That made no sense to me. I knew what I saw, and there was no way anyone could have escaped. There were no windows in his office. We finished the movie after that, but I was a complete nervous wreck. My parents seemed a bit concerned, but nothing more was said. That night, as I was lying in bed, I could barely fall asleep. Just as I was drifting off, I heard footsteps walking down the hallway toward my room. At the time, my dad had a habit of checking on me in the middle of the night, so I assumed it was him. The footsteps stopped right outside my door. I waited for it to open, but it never did. Instead, I heard light tapping against the door for a few seconds. Then it stopped. After that, I heard footsteps pacing up and down the hallway, passing my door again and again, but never stopping. I was too scared to move. Eventually, I must have fallen asleep from fear or exhaustion. The next morning, I asked my dad if he had checked on me or knocked on my door. He said no. The subject was never brought up again. I was afraid I was going crazy and didn't want to get in trouble. But that wasn't the only strange thing to happen in that house. A couple of years later, I went to restart the dryer. Our washer and dryer are in the basement, which already creeps me out. I turned on the stair lights and made it about halfway down when I heard my mom call my name. The basement layout is simple. At the bottom of the stairs, there's a guest bedroom to the right, and farther inside that room is the laundry area. Without the lights on, it's pitch black down there. The voice sounded like it was coming from the laundry room. That didn't make sense. I felt the same overwhelming dread I had felt years earlier. I took a few more steps down and looked around the corner. It was completely dark. Confused and scared, I called out, "Mom?" A few seconds passed. Then, from the darkness, her voice answered, "My name. Come help me in here." My entire body went cold. It sounded exactly like her. That fear snapped me out of it, and I ran up the stairs as fast as I could, turned off the light, and slammed the door. A moment later, my mom walked out of the kitchen and asked if I was okay. I asked her if she had called my name. She said no. She'd been in the kitchen the whole time. I didn't say anything else. I just ran to my room and cried. After that, I couldn't go into the basement alone, and even now I still hate going down there, especially when I'm home by myself. I don't have any serious mental health issues besides anxiety and depression, and I was well rested during both incidents. I truly believe something paranormal was happening. My research led me to the idea of a mimic, especially because of my mom's voice. Nothing major like that has happened again, but I still hear unexplained footsteps at night and occasional whispering from empty rooms. I just want to understand what could have been in my house and how to get rid of it.